Today I'm sharing the truth about labor pain, what it really feels like, and how you can prepare for it. Hello, I'm Rohene. Welcome to Fearless Birth. I'm a first-time mama who overcame her fears around labor and birth, and I just want to share what I know with you to help you release fear and really own your birth journey and feel empowered. So, is labor really unbearable? In short, it depends on your preparation. Think about it this way. If you were to run a marathon, you knew you were going to run a marathon 2 months from now, what would you do to prepare for it? Would you just show up without preparation? Or would you prepare your body, your mind, eat healthy, practice running? What would you do to prepare for it? And think about labor in the same way. If you were to show up for that marathon with no preparation, would you really be expecting to cope with it as well as somebody who did? No, right? Your body just will not be able to cope up because you just have no training, you have no preparation, your body is just not fit, your mind is not fit for running that marathon. And labor is the same. The extent to which you can cope with labor is directly proportional to how much preparation you have done in your body and most importantly in your mind. From my personal experience, if somebody asks me, was labor painful? I will hands down say no, it was not painful. For me to say this, that it was not painful, for this outcome, I had to prepare for it. It didn't just happen. I prepared so that I can cope with the intensity of labor. I didn't just show up on the day expecting me to cope with labor really well. Like you, maybe, I also was super petrified, really scared of giving birth. I thought it would be the most painful experience of my life. I knew I always wanted children, but I was really scared of giving birth. And so I started educating myself. I started thinking, how do I change this? How do I not be scared of this? Let's find out, what is labor? What is birth? What happens during it? And that was the single most important thing I did to completely change my narrative. Before I started educating myself, all the information I had about labor or birth was from cinema and movies where women are screaming and pushing and it feels like they are in so much pain and it's a horrible experience. And also from family around or women around who would say, oh, it's so hard, it's the most painful thing, you will like knock on death's door and come back. How will you cope with labor pain if you can't even tolerate menstrual cramps? All of this made labor and birth very fear driven. It was very fear inducing and I was really scared. To turn this all around, I started with educating myself. And the reality and truth is so far from what I actually had understood labor and birth to be like. It is not painful. Anyone who asks me this question, I will always say that no, labor was not painful. Don't get me wrong, it is strong, it is intense, but it's not the same pain that you feel when you got into an accident or you cut yourself. It's different to the pain that you get when you get hurt, that your body is trying to protect you from. But labor, it's not. It's actually trying to lean in, and you're the one who's getting in the way because you are scared. And it explains why you're scared, because people tell you to be scared of it. I could hands down say that every woman is totally capable of managing and tolerating these sensations. They're not sensations you cannot handle. They are strong, like I said, they are intense, but they are nothing you cannot tolerate. I think the biggest thing that completely changed my perspective about labor and the sensations of labor is that it has a purpose. It is these very sensations that's bringing your baby to you. If these sensations are not there, your baby's not going to come to you. So instead of running away from it, you embrace it. You lean into it because I wanted these sensations to get as strong as they can because they are working for you. They're not trying to harm you. They're working for you. So that was my narrative. They're not harming me. They're working for me. They're bringing my baby closer to me. Even if you prepare, you might not have the same experience as any other person. This can vary for everybody. All I really want you to know that this is possible, that you can also in some way reframe a negative belief with a positive experience. So let's talk about what are some factors that influence pain, right? What are some of these things that make labor really painful versus not? The biggest thing is your mind. It's a 90-10 game. 90% mind, 10% body. I think we often focus our preparation on the body. We go for walks, we eat healthy, we do all these different exercises just to keep our body strong. We do pelvic floor exercises. We do all of this for the body, but we don't do much for the mind. So that's one of the biggest factors that will influence whether you cope well or you don't during labor. Secondly, your beliefs. What are your beliefs about labor? What are you fearful about when it comes to labor? You have to really understand what you're believing, because what you believe is going to be your reality. This manifestation is real. What you tell yourself is going to happen. If you tell yourself that I'm scared, I can't, I don't know if I'll be able to cope with it, you might not be able to cope with it. But if you tell yourself, I can cope with this, I got this, you've got this more than you have not. So what are your beliefs? Next, how educated are you on this topic of labor and birth? Do you really know what's happening in your body during labor? Do you know the different stages of labor? Do you know what are the different movements your baby is taking so that it makes its way through the birth canal? What are contractions? What's actually happening in your uterus? Whenever I've spoken to friends, they say, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared about giving birth and I just don't even want to look it up. I don't want to find more information. But it's the opposite. If you're scared about something, the more knowledge you have about it, the less you're going to fear it. So educate yourself. Lastly is your body's mobility and your body's tension. This can be a big factor on pain. So how mobile are you? Naturally, we are designed to move around during labor. We're not meant to be just sitting in one place. We are not to be just lying down. We are actually designed to be moving around, being upright, being forward, lying down. We have to do a bunch of different things because for your baby to make its way down, it needs help from you. It needs movement. And also how tense you are. And this there's a cycle called the fear, tension, and pain cycle. I'll cover more about this in upcoming videos, but in short, it is if you're fearful, your body's going to tense up. And the more you tense up, the more pain you're going to feel because your body is tense, it's not relaxed. So this can be one of the big factors of how painful your labor is. So how can you prepare for a pain-free birth? What can you do to have a better experience and reduce the amount of pain you feel? I think the biggest thing that helped me was practicing breathing techniques, practicing deep breathing exercises before labor. And the reason why you should do it before labor is because if you don't already practice it, it doesn't naturally come to you when you're in the thick of it. So for me to use these techniques naturally during labor, I practiced them beforehand. So I did something called calm breathing, surge breathing. These are hypnobirthing techniques. My breath was truly my superpowers. If you want to know a bit more about these breathing techniques, I've covered it in this video. So please check it out if you want to really deep dive and know more about these breathing techniques. Next is body movement. Learn the different types of labor positions, birth positions. Just Google labor positions and you'll get all of these images on women doing different sort of labor positions and practice them, know them, get into those positions, start getting comfortable in those positions, because if you have not done them before, it's gonna feel so alien for you. I would advise not birthing on your back if possible. Maybe there might be cases where you might need to lie down, but where possible, stay upright and forward. That'll really help getting the baby in an optimal position and help baby come down the birth canal. Next one is educate yourself. Learn about the different sort of stages in labor. Learn about the different medical and non-medical interventions you can take and pain relief you can take. So some of the non-medical pain relief I used was counter pressure. So my doula, my partner, They were giving me counter pressure on my back. I was using the water, so I had a water birth. There is something called a TENS machine you can use. So there are a lot of options that are non-medical pain relief as well. And know what you want, know what you truly want. It's okay to choose what feels right for you. I also would recommend using birthing techniques. So I use something called hypnobirthing. There are a lot of different birthing techniques out there. Again, you can just Google birthing techniques and you'll get many. And the last is rewire your beliefs. Understand what you're believing and rewire them. Work on replacing one negative belief with a positive one. For example, I am scared of these contractions, to something like, each contraction is bringing me closer to my baby. It's just a very gentle, subtle tweaking, which makes a big difference in how you experience labor. You can use a mix of affirmations, you can use meditations. There are lots of meditations on YouTube where you can visualize a positive birth. I would highly recommend listening to other positive birth stories. I had listened to so many positive birth stories because you are otherwise filled with a lot of stories that are negative about birth and about labor. We have to replace those with positive stories. So the more you hear about positive experiences, the more you believe it can happen for you. I've made a video about my birth story. I'll link it here for you so you can check that out too if you're interested. So remember, your body is designed for this. You can do this and you have the power to have a positive birth experience. Please share with me and comment below one fear of yours when it comes to labor or birth. I would love to hear and help if I can. Thank you. See you next time.